Hi, my name is Brigid Kelley. I went to Clark and graduated in 2008 with a drama degree and a minor in philosophy. I went to Clark for several reasons. One was that it was between Clark and University of Iowa, and they were offering me the same amount of scholarship money and the same amount of financial aid. So for Clark being a private school and it being the same price as a state school was huge. And the other thing with that was they said at U of I, you as freshmen, you don't really get stage time. And I wanted to start working on the stage immediately. And they said at Clark that freshmen were often in production. So immediately I clung to that. But lastly, the reason why I chose Clark was because a former alum, Jake Heinrichs, his family goes to my church, and he was in town and he agreed to meet with me. So, right there, a former alum cares to meet with a senior in high school. And he came over to my house and he basically told me what I would expect from being in theater at Clark. And he told me, what was very important to my parents and to myself was getting a job out of college, so which is hard to do as an actor. But that was very important. And here's this guy. After graduating from Clark, he moved to Minneapolis and did acting and lighting there and became a great lighting technician and lighting designer. And I think he was there for 6 years, and then he moved to New York, and he's been doing it in New York ever since. So I loved that. And that was a great example of how you can get a job after college. So he explained that at Clark, you get to be on stage, you get to learn the craft of acting, but you also get to learn the backstage and the technical side of theater. So, and that has helped me get jobs. So therefore, I loved that, and I fell in love with that. So that's kind of the main reason. I fell in love with Clark and its drama department because you get to live and breathe theater. You learn the history of theater, which is so important to know just so much about the basics about Greek theater. You not only get to learn a lot about Shakespeare, but you get to learn about Ibsen and Chekhov, and all of those things are very, very important if you decide to do theater outside of college. I loved that. I loved learning about it every single day. And then after class, you get to be in the shows at night. And then on the weekends, you do crew. And yeah, you get to have a life outside of theater as well. There is time for that. But if you do want to be just completely immersed in it, which I did, and that's why I loved it so much. Like, this would be perfect for you. I loved the tight knit group and that you get from going here. You're around the same people every day, and you find that you go to classes with them, and then you go to lunch with them afterwards, and you go to dinner with them, and just because you all have like the same interests, and you get to go to crew with them on weekends, and it's so much of a family. And the biggest piece of the family puzzle is absolutely the professors. They are the number one reason why I'm glad I went to Clark, and that's because of Joe Kleinbriel. You know, the fact that he is such a good teacher. He is such a good coach. He will talk to you about New York. He will talk to you about Shakespeare. He'll talk to you about a career in theater. Like, he will take time out of his day to help you with monologues. He is an absolutely generous, generous person, and I am so lucky to be able to call him my friend. And he's so much. They're all so much more than professors. Ellen Gabriel Eschi and Bobby Newman. You have no this the breadth of knowledge that they have. she doesn't just design sets. She doesn't just design lighting. You know, Bobby doesn't just do costumes. They have a reason for every single thing that they do. Nothing is just thrown on stage. They have a concept for every piece of their decision-making process. It's amazing, and you don't get that everywhere. So you're so fortunate to be able to learn from these people that have done hundreds of shows. Ellen has an extremely long career, and they've won awards for their work. And you work next to them too, like every single Saturday, and at classes, you're able to learn directly from them. And I had Carol Blitchen, which I believe she's retired since I've been there, but she's again, she's won awards, so many awards. I can't, it's so hard to articulate how important she has been. She's just a fantastic director. She gave me the best piece of directing advice I'll ever get, which is like, she'll just stop you, and she'll just, don't think about it, just follow your heart. And it's amazing what can come when from your performance when you just do that and you just follow your heart. So I feel so fortunate to have been directed by her and to have worked with Ellen, Bobby, and Joe. They mean the world to me. I am able to call them my friends, and that is also, you don't get that from big, huge state school. You, as far as I've heard from talking with people, that are very lucky to have worked with them. Okay, so my senior year at Clark, I auditioned for the Wisconsin Theater auditions and the Twin Cities Unified Theater auditions, and their Climb Theater saw me and hired me. So I got a job directly out of college, and I toured. I moved to Minneapolis and toured with them for a year, performing plays for kids in schools. And there I met a great director, and he ended up being one of the top directors in the Twin Cities, and he gave me phone numbers of agencies to call, and all I had to do was just call them up and say, Peter referred me, and I got an interview. So that was how I got my first two agents. And they put me on commercial auditions, which you cannot get without an agent there. So I did a lot of commercial auditions. I did Big Lots with them, and that was pretty much all I got from them. I did like a Best Buy commercial, and I did an Anytime Fitness commercial, but that was through my own hustling, basically. Also at Climb, I did technical theater. Was able to technical direct for them, which I got because of Clark and the training we get at Crew. So I helped construct sets, I reinforced them, I painted them, I even got to do a little bit of design as well. So I helped pay the bills for a couple years. I did that for I think 2.5 to 3 years. And I got to do that while I was doing theater, and I auditioned for a lot of shows. I did 8 different Shakespeare shows. I did an all-female cast of Julius Caesar. I did the physical theater, a lot of viewpoints, a lot of new work, a lot of new plays. So I did that for about 5 years, and then decided that I wanted to make a living, which you can make a living there, but it's very hard. As there's not enough work that pays enough. I moved to Los Angeles to do that. So I've been here for about a month, and I've been paying the bills with background work and student films. And like just the other day, I was on Parks and Rec, and I got to just watch them improv and rehearse, and that was a free class right there. So, and I've been meeting with casting directors and things like that. So you never know. And the professors have been so encouraging to me about coming here. So, and that's just one reason why Clark is so great. It gives you training. You are able to get work, and you get a support system that is, it's amazing. So thank you.